Hi guys, welcome to your next lesson. We are going to hop right into it, which means we are going to get started right away. So if you hear someone say, let's hop right into it, they're just saying, let's get started right away. Okay. So, as usual, we will go over the alphabet and then we'll go through our numbers and then we'll talk about what's next in the class for today. So, repeat after me with the alphabet: A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. And what are our vowels? Our vowels are highlighted in yellow: A, E, I, O, U. Okay, now let's go through our numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay. Now, our last class, I talked about going through a test, having a test. And since we don't have a way to give you a test just yet, I'm still trying to figure that out. And so for right now, there's no test until I tell you, hey, it's time for a test. When it is time for a test, I want you to just go back and look at the video that goes over review, that does the review for the test. Okay? All right. Now, in Unit 4, we've been talking about health problems. And what are some health problems that we have talked about? What are some health problems we can have? Remember, when we talk about health problems, we say we have something. When we are at the doctor's office. So the doctor might ask you, what's wrong, or what are you feeling, or what's going on? Why are you here at the doctor's office? What's the problem? There are different ways the doctor can ask you questions. And so you would want to say what you have. And you would say, I have a backache, or I have a cough. I have a headache. Now, if you have a broken leg, the doctor should be able to see it. But a broken leg is something you can have. An earache, a sore throat, a sprained ankle, a toothache, a fever. It's when you have chills or you're hot, your mouth is dry. Well, when your mouth is dry, you're dehydrated. Diarrhea, that's a terrible feeling. And of course, a stiff neck, your neck hurts. So these are things that you can have, okay? So let's go to our homework. That is what we are going to do for this lesson, is we are going to review the homework on pages 44, 45, 46, and 47. I don't know if we'll be able to get through all 4 pages in this lesson, but that's okay. If we do, great. If we don't, we will continue in the next lesson. So let's go to the homework, page 44. And as you can see here is page 44. And we have different, I'm sorry that this came out a little crooked, but we will just go with the flow. Do you know what that means, to go with the flow? When you say you're going to, this is how it's written, go with the flow, right? When you say you're going to go with the flow, that just means you are going to continue what you're doing in the order that you're going. No matter what's going on around you, no matter what mistakes there might be, you will just go with the flow. You just keep moving. It's like thinking about a river or water going down a river. And if, a leaf from a tree falls on the water, the leaf goes with the flow of the water. It just goes in the same direction the water goes. So that's what it means to go with the flow. Just keep going in the direction that everything is going. Okay, so we're going to go with the flow, even though the paper is crooked. Okay, so lesson B on page 44. Look at the picture. Circle the correct answers. So let's look at the picture. And what we see here in this picture looks like a medicine cabinet, right? That you might have in your bathroom. A medicine cabinet that you might have in your bathroom. And it said, and you see, you have different things that you can use for medicine, right? Different things that you can use for medicine. And, or not just medicine, but to help you with some sort of sickness that you have. So let's look at exercise 1. First, we're going to go through each of these and talk about what we're seeing in the medicine cabinet. So here, this is what's called an ice pack. Ice pack. And you use an ice pack for a sprained ankle. You use an ice pack for a sprained ankle. Then here, we have tissues. Tissues. Tissues used for a cold. If you have to blow your nose, you use tissues when you have a cold because you have a runny nose. Aspirin. Aspirin, take for a headache. You take aspirin for a headache. And then you have cough drops. Cough drops you take for a cough. So let's look at the questions. Number 1 is already done for you. Repeat after me. What do you take for a cough? And your choices are aspirin, an ice pack, cough drops, tissues? Well, the answer they already gave you here is cough drops. Okay, and you see it right here, cough drops, take for a cough. Okay. The next question is, what do you take for a headache? What do you take for a headache? Our choices are aspirin, an ice pack, cough drops, tissues. Well, the answer is A, aspirin. Aspirin right here. Aspirin, take for a headache. Very good. What do you use for a sprained ankle? Number 3, what do you use for a sprained ankle? Aspirin, an ice pack, cough drops, or tissues? And the answer is an ice pack. Right here, ice pack used for a sprained ankle. Number 4, what do you use for a cold? What do you use for a cold? Aspirin, an ice pack, cough drops, tissues. And for a cold, we know one thing you use for a cold is tissues. Okay? And tissues is answer D. D. Okay, next, complete the sentences. Exercise 2, complete the sentences. Use have or has. Use have or has. Number 1, I have a cold. I have a cold. Number 2, she has a fever. She has a fever. Number 3, you have a broken arm. You have a broken arm. Number 4, I have a sore throat. I have a sore throat. Number 5, you have a headache. You have a headache. And number 6, he has a cough. He has a cough. Okay, great. Let's move on to exercise 3. And we are going to answer the questions. We are going to answer the questions. So we look at the picture and we try to figure out what's wrong in the picture, and then we say what's wrong. Like if you ask someone, what's wrong, and you can see what's wrong with them in the picture. What's wrong? The answer, he has a broken arm. He has a broken arm. The next picture, what's wrong? We're going to assume this is a man. Well, it might be a woman because they're cooking. Could be a man, men cook too. But right here, we can see here's a knife and something is wrong right here with their finger. So we will say, he has a cut. He has a cut. And I'm going to do something here. Okay, I wanted to write these down so that you guys will be able to see how these answers are spelled. And since we can't see both pages at the same time, we will go through each one and then we will come back. So this picture, what's wrong? He has a backache. He has a backache. Number 4, what's wrong? He has a sprained ankle. He has a sprained ankle. Number 5, what's wrong? He has a cold. Little boy, he has a cold. Number 6, what's wrong? She's holding her stomach. She has a stomach ache. She has a stomach ache. So when we look on here, we can see how these should be written. Number 1, he has a broken arm. Number 2, he has a cut. Number 3, he has a backache. Number 4, he has a sprained ankle. Number 5, he has a cold. And number 6, she has a stomach ache. All right, and let's look at exercise 4. In exercise 4, we see is a conversation. And it says, write a conversation, use the sentences in the box. Then listen. And you can just listen to me. Let's go through the box. In the box, we have speaker A and we have speaker B. So one person will speak and then another person will respond or answer. So the first thing is, number 1, how are you? Right? But let's read all the ones in speaker A first and then read the ones in speaker B. Then we will have the conversation. So we have, what's the matter? Take aspirin. How are you? And then we have, I have a fever. Not so good. Okay, thanks. So to the question, how are you? What should be the answer? How are you? Not so good. What's the matter? I have a fever. Take aspirin. Okay, thanks. So let's do that again. First one, 1A, how are you? 2, not so good. 3, what's the matter? 4, I have a fever. 5, take aspirin. 6, okay, thanks. So those are the answers for pages 44 and 45 in our homework. And I'm going to stop the recording here and we will pick up the next 2 pages in the next lesson. All right, see you guys soon.